All right. What is up? And welcome back to How to Invest in Commercial Real Estate. No guest today, just us.
Yeah, just us giving you the year in review.
Yeah.
What were you going to say about boring? Speak for yourself, Brian.
I was going to say just boring old us.
No, just you.
No exciting guest today.
We're hoping Brian actually adds some interesting information today.
Hoping.
Yeah, it's 60 degrees out.
There we go.
Oh, my.
Not even 60 degrees out. Okay. Anyway, we just finished our internal kind of 2024. We always talk about setting goals. So we reviewed our 2024 goals and just compared ourselves to what we thought we wanted to do versus what we did. And then in that process, we reflected and thought, what are we going to do for 2025? And this could be a good time to just talk about the importance of setting goals. Sometimes it seems ridiculous, but it's awesome. And we created this spreadsheet where we had 36 goals, and I think we hit 25 of them, 25 of 36. And some of them were just like start sending a monthly newsletter out.
Yeah.
Some of them were increasing contacts on the investor list. Some of them were acquiring properties or internal infrastructure, but they were important to us at the beginning of the year. And just by writing them down and saying they were important to us, we accomplished a big chunk of them, which is really awesome.
I was actually shocked when we sat down. I knew we had put some audacious goals out there last year, and I hadn't really reviewed them over the last 6 months or so, and it was really impressive, and I was quite shocked at how many we were able to achieve. Guys, if you're not goal setting, your life is about to change if you take up the endeavor. I can't stress it enough. There's just something magical about the commitment to a goal. And you've got to write it down. And I know that sounds silly. You're like, oh, I got it in my head. No, you don't, right? You don't have it in your head. Your head isn't going to do anything with it until you write it down. And it's weird because when you go to write down your goals, you're going to have some resistance. And you're not even going to know why. That is your subconscious, and it is sabotaging you because it doesn't want you to commit because your subconscious knows that if you don't achieve that goal, there may be some disappointment. And we spend a lot of time in our lives trying to avoid pain and avoid disappointment. And so you're literally, your self-conscious is blocking you from really committing to those goals, keeping you from writing them down. So if you want your life to change in 2025, decide what you want, take a few minutes and write it out. What do I want? What do I want to do this year? What's important to me? What do I want to have? What do I want to achieve? And then look back a year from now and you'll be amazed the progress you made. And you may not hit them all, but you're definitely going to be way ahead of where you would have been otherwise.
Yeah.
We had 25 out of 36. We hit twice as many as we missed.
Brian, you're about to say something.
Well, some of our goals, it's 61 degrees now. No, what I was going to say was some of the goals we set, we look back at them, we're like, why did we say that's stupid? And we just crossed them out. Who cares? Sometimes you might set a goal that you look at the end of the year, like, I don't even know why we did that. Scratch, we're not doing that in 2025. But the other thing is, I think we should do, which we have it in our head, but we don't have it written down. These are all 2025 goals. Why are we not putting down 2030 goals, right? Where we want to be in 5 years? Where do we want to be in 10 years?
Now you say this shit. You don't bring it up in the meeting. Hindsight, Harry.
That's a great point because we did talk about some of the audacious goals we have. I think we even talked about 10-year.
We have.
But
we got to write them down. They should be on that list.
Okay, goal to create long-term goals.
Yeah.
It's on the list, folks.
And I would say if you're willing to challenge yourself on a 10-year, 20-year, 30-year goal, that 30-year goal, it's almost nothing is impossible. 30 years, you literally can accomplish almost anything that you can conceive and believe you can do. So,
that's kind of a long timeline for me. But
yeah, I mean, Brian, his goal is to be alive in 30 years, really.
Write that down.
Can I be here?
The CEO of Abercrombie in Kent, he's a billionaire, and he asked what was attributable, what's the one biggest thing that you would attribute to becoming a billionaire and your success? And he said, dedicating your time and energy and the long-term effect. He ran that company for 61 years. The long-term compounding effect on focusing on one thing is huge, right? So just like you said, being purposeful about having long-term goals, focusing on that, like, why are we doing that? Why are we doing the yearly goals? What's the long-term goal?
Yeah, make decisions every day towards that 10-year goal or 20-year goal.
Yeah.
Over time.
Yeah, just having an idea of what you want, then what it does is it maps out your weekly, monthly, and yearly goals in order to get to that 10-year goal. But if you don't set that 10-year goal, then you're going to meander through these years because you're not going to know where you're going or where you want to be. But once you set a certain goal, I don't know for people what it's going to be. Well, then, hey, how much time do I need to spend a week, a month doing something? Can I afford to do this? Do I need to take this job? Like it will decide, and what then you'll start to make decisions in light of where you want to go, and you're like, no, I can't spend time on this. It's not going to get me to where I want to go, or it's not going to get me there fast enough. Like, hey, I want to own 10,000 units. Okay, are you going to buy single family homes? No,
Yeah, right.
You can't get there. And so then automatically forces you to think of a different plan to get to the goal that you want to be in 10 years. You can't buy houses if you want to have 10,000 units. And that's the kind of point that I think we're trying to make.
Yeah, good point.
Okay. So how do we do in 2024? Brian.
Horrible.
We did good. Let's see. So we invested and employed $19 million last year, which we calculated to be $75,000 per working day.
Yes, that was a failure. Epic failure. We were
goal?
supposed to deploy 25 million.
Oh, man.
We only got 19.
Well,
We only got 19 million. Shame on you guys.
yeah,
I thought
Hit the phones harder.
Yeah, I thought 19 was
I did too.
it was an amazing goal. I don't know what we deployed the year before. We probably should have had that number, but it's a huge increase over that.
Yeah.
And once again, just setting that goal. I mean, we almost got there. We had a couple of deals delay here towards the end of the year. Had a deal in Chicago, had a deal in Michigan that we're not going to be able to close. That would have gotten us even that much closer.
If we would have done the Oklahoma and if we would have closed out the year like we thought we should, we would have been within a few percent of the goal.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, so we deployed $19 million of equity into deals in 2024. Awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's a learning point. Don't set a goal that you know you're going to achieve. It should be uncomfortable and out of reach when you set it.
I agree. I like that we set 2025.
Because you're going to grow throughout the process, and you're going to be able to reach further. You're going to be able to compound a little bit. So the idea that like if you can just get it right then, that's not a goal, that's an action item.
Yeah, that's right. That's a to-do list.
Exactly.
All right. We exited 6 projects on the year.
Exited.
What were they?
I think we may have only exited 5. Yeah.
Well,
so the goal was exit 6, and we ended up.
Oh, I have 5. Yeah.
Okay, so we exited the New Jersey Kitty Academy. We bought that, held on to it. I think year and a half, 24 months maybe. That was coupled with another investment in Houston, actually. But anyway, we sold that Kitty Academy, got out of that. Investors got their money back. We did the Henderson gas stations. Those are in contract and should close by the end of this year. 4 gas stations that we acquired actually just a few months ago. We have a gas station in
Dawson.
We have the Dawson Petromax that is in contract, scheduled to sell before the end of the year. We have the Perfect Auto deal in Vegas that is in contract, scheduled to close by the end of the year, and then we exited the Callaway nursery deal.
Yeah, the Callaway, that was a home run. What was the IRR on that? Wasn't that the one that was?
Yeah, I think it was like it was really good.
60 to 80.
You know, even then, exiting deals, that was one thing I said when we were going over our 2025 goals is, I don't know why we're making it a goal to exit deals.
Yeah, great point.
I agree the developments, we want to exit them, but I'm never making a decision to exit a deal because I set a goal to exit it. I'm making a fiduciary decision to exit a deal when it makes the most financial sense for us and our partners. So setting the goal, I want to exit so many deals, it puts a timeline on it, which really I'm never going to make a decision to exit based on a timeline.
Well, I think what we were thinking last year is we'd done so many developments that it is our goal to get in and stabilize those and get out of them fairly quickly. I don't know that we'd do that again because we've exited a lot of our developments. Some we still have to go.
It's like, hey, we want to exit these developments, and it should sell for $2 million, but December's coming down the pipe, so let's sell it for $1 million so we can meet the goal.
Yeah, we're
never going to do that again. So that's one we won't have next year.
Yeah,
but anyway, we did exit 5 deals, so great. What's next?
So our goal on exited deals was 25% average IRR. How do we do on that one, Braden? We beat it?
We beat that. Yep.
Yeah.
We don't have the final IRR number or the average IRR number just because some of these haven't sold yet and we don't know the exact day.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely beat the 25% just on what we have closed, and the ones that are in contract will be over 25% IRR. So overall,
they're all closing
massive
before
win.
December 31st.
All closing before the end of this year.
Yep.
Yes, sir. So
I would say of the 5 deals we exited, one was less than we projected, and the other 4 were more than we projected.
correct.
Yep.
So 80% higher IRR exit value than we projected.
Yeah.
All right. another goal was the investor list. And what was our goal? Was it to increase by 25%?
Let me see
that
here.
down? I think we wanted to increase it by 25%, and we actually doubled it, didn't we? Or,
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, we did. We wanted to increase it by 25%, and we ended up going from. Yeah, we ended up going almost double.
Yeah, not quite, maybe.
Yeah, and this year I think we set a goal to double it again.
Double it again. Yeah.
Which again, we missed it last year, but it's an aggressive goal for us. And the action items are talk to people about real estate, talk to people about what we do, get people to sign up through podcast listening and referrals and just generally performing well. So people are giving referrals unsolicited.
Make a better podcast could help with that. But,
slacker. Come on.
So yeah, that's
talk
good.
more.
Yeah, our investor list is getting really big, and that's what helps us. Like in 2024, we deployed an average of $75,000 per business day, $19 million in 1 year, and I believe our goal for 2025 is to deploy $30 million of investor equity.
Is it 30? Yeah, $30 million investor equity deployed, right?
Which is a ton.
That's a lot.
That's like raising $100,000 a day.
Yeah, that's
Almost.
right.
Almost.
Yeah, that means we almost have to double it. But yeah, 30 million deployed.
What about acquisitions?
And we want our goal is 75 million in acquisitions
for 2025. Okay, I like that.
Yep.
What was it? Let's talk about the acquisitions that we did in 2024. Braden, I think do you have that, or Brian, do you have it?
Yep, I have it. So we have the 5 Petromax gas stations.
Like it?
Yep. The first one we acquired in July. I think the most recent one was beginning of November, maybe end of October. We have Martindale Shopping Center in Amarillo. That one's stabilized out, paid its first distribution on track to pay the second full one. It's already outperforming expectations just on what we've been able to do so far. We have the Little York Shopping Center in Houston. Massive deal for us. I think that was the biggest trade to date in the company. That's $14 million trade. Biggest equity check we've gotten in the company. Got a strong 7-figure check on that. Really impressive. I think that closed, September?
about then. Yeah,
maybe end of August. And then the Florissant deal, another really big trade.
It was 10, 11 million.
Yep, almost 11. We bought that from a massive REIT. I think that was a really good buy for us. We've already been able to successfully split off the out parcel. We've already drummed up a decent amount of interest off market on selling that. I think we're gonna get a really good price on the out parcel sale. The American Freight bankruptcy, I think could turn out to be a big positive for us, just in working with the operator, getting him to rebrand, the possibility of maybe allowing him to just close that store if we get another tenant to backfill it. He's at a super low rental rate, so we've got some flexibility there. And then the Grand Rapids deal was supposed to close, so not that one. So 5 gas stations: Amarillo, Houston, Florissant.
Yeah, and we actually purchased Callaway this year, but we exited as well.
Yep.
Another deal.
I guess we can't really include the Salad and Go in Owasso as a closed deal since it's part of another strip shopping center.
It's partial sale.
Partial sale.
Yeah.
What did we started 4 or 5 developments this year too. So
Yes. 4.
4 developments, 4 gas stations, 3 shopping centers. It was a good deal. I think in total 13 kind of deals, almost a little more than one a month.
Yeah, we idea while we're sitting here, we need to go through and do an episode on all the shit that didn't work this year. I could come up with a ton of like lost earnest money here. Tens of thousands of dollars in environmental studies that we probably didn't need. That deal died. Traffic study. Oh yeah, deal died. Thousands of dollars.
Pursuit costs. People they ask us, why are you guys taking this acquisition fee? What's going on here? We only get to charge that acquisition fee on the deals that we actually close. But we're spending money chasing after good deals for you guys all the time. And if it's $10,000 or $50,000, we just have to write that off. But that's what the acquisition pursuit cost covers. Some of those pursuit costs that we don't get. Just trying to keep it going.
Yeah, so we have here that we wanted to acquire value shopping centers at over $36 million. This is going to be we hit that goal. If you push Grand Rapids to next year, we hit that goal almost exactly. We were trying to buy something off of auction this year. We monitored that close, probably not as close as we should. We're kicking ourselves a little bit. Also very aggressive terms on that. So we were probably just being a little safer, maybe. For me to buy those auction deals, it's got to be a really good deal just because you're so tight.
Yeah, it has to be not only a really good deal, but it has to be the right size because, if it's too big a deal and we don't have the equity locked up, but you're non-refundable day one on the auction, it makes it really, really hard. So we have to find a really good deal that's also small enough that we can take it down ourselves if need be somehow in the event that we don't raise the equity. You only have 30 days start to finish.
Another interesting note, we had a goal to use 3 repeat lenders. We did, which was pretty cool. What it also tells me is, out of the 8 deals we did last year, we did 3 with the same lender.
So 5 new ones.
Yeah. So constantly looking for new lenders. Those lending relationships are absolutely crucial, just as important, if not more important than your equity relationships, your ability to get good debt on deals.
Those 5, we're going to probably do deals with them again. So
for sure. Yeah. For us, it's rare, very, very rare that I go into a banking relationship, close a loan and never want to do a deal with them again. You end up just doing several deals and then you max them out or they get less interested. That bucket of real estate fills up. So some of these goals were key hires. We met those. Redo the company website. We did that. Yeah, I don't know. What else do you have?
Well, didn't we set a goal in 2025 for 8 shopping centers?
Right? Yeah, let's talk about a couple of $75 million in acquisitions in 2025, 8 shopping centers. I think we may have written down.
Yep.
Doubling the investor database, deploying $30 million,
getting to $200 million in assets under management.
I think we're going to far past that in 2025.
I think we need to change that.
Probably 250.
We're selling a decent amount, hopefully.
Oh, true.
It balances out.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think long-term goal for me, obviously the transaction volume gives you credibility as a real estate syndicator, but I like owning real estate. Real estate goes up in value automatically when you hold it, when you own it. And so, we have long-term goal. I'd like to have $1 billion under management. And I think when I first wrote that down years ago, even before Criterion was a thing,
seems crazy.
My dad even was like, are you kidding? Like, what are you writing that down? But for me, I was under the impression that nothing was impossible, and here we are. I mean, between the 2 companies, I've got maybe over 300 million, but Criterion's growing so fast. I just don't. It's not unreasonable. You buy $75 million a year, maybe you sell 25, so your net is 50 million positive. I mean, just not growing at all and doing 50 million a year, you're there in 16, 18 years.
It's people who aren't in real estate as much may not understand. It's hard to get into real estate and start owning and start doing deals. It's much harder to hold the real estate, to not have to sell, to not be forced to do something when the market turns. Being able to hold your real estate and grow a portfolio that increases over time is a very challenging thing to do because it means you're performing on the equity. The equity is coming back. They're giving you those distributions back when things are getting refinanced or sold. They're trusting you with more. They're not putting pressure on you to sell. You don't have to sell to realize some sort of promoted interest on your end. You're able to cash flow along the way. It says a lot to be able to hold your real estate. A lot of people, it can't.
I know a lot of syndicators, their goal is to sell because they make a couple points on acquisition, they make a couple points on the disposition, and then they get all that equity back in their investor's pocket, and then they go do it again. And it's just it's transactional, and they're just looking for fee income. We're not. We're looking for generational wealth for us and our investors. And so we want to have a bunch of real estate. We want to hold it and grow that portfolio. And it makes you more secure because if you have cash flow from all the money from all of these assets, then you can withstand the fluctuations in the market. And so for us, that's what we want to do.
Finance $20 million in development.
That's a 2025 or that
2025 goal.
Okay.
Yep. I think that's easily achievable. I mean, the Aspen dental deal, that's going to be a few million of it right there.
Oh yeah.
And we've got the opportunity to do more. And those look good. Nagadishu.
Well, let's wrap it up. just kind of a year in review for us. If you are a listener to the podcast, hopefully you found this interesting. But we don't want you just to be a listener. We want you to be both a partner and investor of ours, because we want to try to make you money. But we also want to help you get into this game so you can change your life and the lives of those around you. And so if you're watching and you need more information, you need encouragement, you have questions, hit us up, message us. We will respond. You can find out our email. We want to get more people in this game that we love, because we think it's so both fun, rewarding. It'll provide freedom and financial freedom and personal freedom, time freedom for you and your family. So,
Yeah, and that email address is brian@thecriterionfund.com. That's the complaint department. That is the suggestive criticism.
Send me your suggestions.
And that is with an I.
if you guys have podcast ideas for 2025, hit us up with that. We want to talk about what's interesting to you guys. So,
Also, investor gifts went out in the mail.
Oh, yeah.
So I know we've been getting a ton of thank yous. We love sending those out. This year, there's more than ever. We sent out a ton of custom Glacier chocolates, so be sure to eat those up. Those are super tasty, and a bunch of other cool stuff. But anyway, a lot of people getting involved, and it's really cool to see. We had almost 200 gifts go out this year for Christmas.
Nice.
Very awesome.
I love it. Hey, get on our investor list. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the podcast. Help us make it better. And if we don't see you before the end of the year, hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas holiday with your family, and we'll look forward to hitting you back up in the new year.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.